Hello, YouTube. Hello, and you are watching an iVote summary. We have been doing a project in collaboration with the Symbiosis Institute of Media
And
and
communication.
Communication. Uh, we are doing this project basically to find out how much voter suppression is there and what are the complaints people have regarding when they go to vote. So with me, I have the project lead here, Siddharth, who will be actually explaining what the project is. So project, what is the project about?
The project is मन की बात तो सब कर लेते हैं हमको काम की बात करनी थी about elections. We want to really look at the data. We want to see how elections are being held in the country,
Right.
not just about who's going to win, who's going to lose, what margins, and all of that. So me and this team here, we've been tracking reports coming in.
Right.
We basically have two modes of getting reports. One is direct citizen reports coming in from the voters themselves. They see something happening somewhere and they take a photo, they take a video,
Right.
selfies, etc.,
Right.
and they report it to us. That's one model. The second is, a lot of people are tweeting, whether news organizations or individual people, etc., tweeting, posting, sending WhatsApp messages, and so on. And we are trying to scrape all of that data, and we are plotting that on a map. Once we plot that on a map, then we start seeing patterns emerge. That maybe there's a cluster of problems in this constituency, that polling booth, etc. This gives a bird's eye view, essentially, something that
So one basic question: why are you doing this? Why did you come up with this idea?
it's the simple reason that India is such a big place. It's impossible for any one news organization, no matter how big that media house is, to actually cover all parts of the country and report things going wrong.
Right.
And sadly, we don't have a tradition of collaboration in this country between news organizations. It's all like exclusive here. Hamare paas hai tez khabar and all of that.
Right.
So what's happening is we are working at cross purposes here. So iVote is a collaborative project. Like all the data that we get is open and free for anybody to
So
use.
it's crowdsourced, is what
It's
you're saying.
crowdsourced. The information is crowdsourced. Yeah. And it's also sent out in the public domain. So
Right.
there's that we are very committed to the idea of data commons.
Right.
That's what
So the data is actually available on iVote.io.
iVote.io.
iVote.io. So you can go there, and there are some cool maps you have put up. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, we have maps of all kinds from ones that first, the most important map which is up there is marking the voter suppression, incidents of voter suppression. So you just have a visual, like ready visual for seeing what's going wrong where. And it's a live map. We keep updating it as and when reports come in. We have all other sorts of maps as well. We have which you want to know when your constituency is going to poll. Just look at that map and you'll know. It's an interactive map. You want to know which places have actually voted women MPs to power. And you can see all of that.
That's from the 2014 election.
That's from the 2014. But we also have other things like criminal records. We have Karodpati MPs and it's a shocking. The visual is shocking because then you see that almost all of India is covered with Karodpati MPs. And so it's a very easy and convenient way to look at it.
Right. So you have been active for phase one and phase two both,
phase
right?
two
And
both.
phase two happened yesterday.
Phase two happened
So can you just tell us a little bit about what you found in both phases, and we can talk to your team as well.
So we found that there's a pattern to the polling every day. When the morning time starts off, it's usually a lot of complaints coming in. People saying, "I can't see my name. I can't find my name." As the day progresses, it morphs into other problems like I was denied a vote for really wrong reasons. Just, For example, a person yesterday said, I wasn't carrying my Aadhaar card and I was denied my right to vote. Someone from some political party, the one who shall not be named, they came and said, oh, of course, that person said, you're an illiterate idiot. You need to carry your Aadhaar card. So we intervened and said, FYI, Aadhaar card is not compulsory. So this is another nature. Then, of course, there is the big, huge problem of EVMs in this country. And I think one of my teammates is going to talk about how we are looking at clusters of massive EVM problems, EVM function problems. Then there is the problem of violence. Voters not being allowed to go in and vote. We also have it's really wonderful that people are coming up with, citizens are coming up with such specific reports. Like this one gentleman, he wrote in, he sent a video taken on, and he said the roads are so bad, the access road is so bad that old people aren't able to go and cast their vote. This is voter suppression.
Okay.
Because the EC actually has a mandate to make voting booths, polling booths, accessible to people with handicaps. And that's not happening. So lots of mixed reports come in, but it gets very real and operational as the day progresses.
Right. Okay, so we can talk to a few people. From
Yeah,
the team.
sure.
Yeah. So,
Pratiksha, which areas have you been looking at?
Talking about Maharashtra. So basically in Maharashtra, majorly the reports that were there were the EVMs are not functioning. There was also a report where a man actually broke an EVM machine. There was a polling.
wait, what? They broke an
Yeah,
EVM
a
machine?
man broke an EVM machine. There were two citizen reports that were tweeted that a man has actually broken an EVM machine in one of the regions in Maharashtra.
Okay.
There was also a complaint about internet not working, and because of that, there was issue with the EVM, and in that constituency, they were having a lot of problems because of which people were waiting in the line for like 2 hours because the internet was not working. So they have tweeted that please help. Like, what are we supposed to do since they are waiting, and most of them are returning back home because the internet's not working.
Right. I'm sorry, I have to clarify this. So, how does internet not working affect an EVM यहाँ पे? Because
So they have mentioned the area. Yeah, so it was a Tehsildar office where the internet was not working. That's why they said that in the Kankawali, Maharashtra, where senior citizens were waiting in line, but because the internet in that office was not working, they were not able to vote.
But I really don't know what the detail of this is. We need to go into this because
Because that's the complaint.
the EVM is supposed to be have
Of the
nothing to do with the
Yeah.
internet.
Yeah.
But we want to know. This looks
Yeah.
like an interesting detail.
So I think it might be something to do with maybe electoral rolls not being able to download electoral rolls or something
so
of
again,
that sort.
that is off the grid as well because we've always had printed rolls at all polling stations. We don't really know. There's such a big cloud over really how the systems are functioning ever since the EVMs have come in. I think reports like this need to be investigated.
Basically, if they're saying internet is not working, then that's a really useless excuse in a way.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And something in Odisha.
Yeah, Odisha, there was a Maoist attack in Kandamal where a vehicle that was heading to polling center was actually disembarked, and then the people were taken out and it was burnt on.
Oh, okay.
That happened in.
So reports of violence is also
Violence,
something.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
covering.
Actually, speaking on violence, I think Tiyashi is going to be able to tell us more because West Bengal saw some significant
Right.
episodes of violence.
So Tiyashi, tell us, what did you find?
Yeah, so the first report that came was from Goal Pakors, where the journalists were attacked, and that's why the people were stopped from casting vote.
Where is Goalpakor?
It's in West Bengal only.
Which
So
district?
it's in
Uttar
that.
Dinajpur.
Yeah, it's in North Dinajpur. So they were stopped from casting vote, and moreover, there was some booth capturing in Darjeeling also, Darjeeling and Raiganj. So North Dinajpur and Raiganj, these were like the hub of violence in West Bengal yesterday. And so there are report that some of the like EVM machine, they were also vandalized, and some of them they were tampering with the EVM machines. So
Right.
people had to stop voting for like they stopped them from for like 40 minutes, or in some places they were like 2 hours delay in the voting system and all. And all these reports came in, and then there were reports of threatening and intimidating the voters as well in Darjeeling.
Oh,
And,
okay. So
Raiganj.
that okay. All right. So like where the parties mentioned?
Yeah.
But we couldn't. So here's the thing that we was sent a video from Kuch Bihar during phase 1 of the election where there was an image showing voters running for their lives and somebody chasing them
Okay.
out of the voting booth. Now the person who tweeted to us, he said these are TMC goons who are doing this. The only reason we didn't want to go on record saying these are TMC goons is because the tweet was put out by somebody from BJP.
Right.
And we did not get independent verification. Like, we did reach out to journalists on the ground and like we couldn't verify it. So we're very careful about, we are, by the way.
So you're doing a second layer of verification before putting out that data?
Absolutely. So whenever a citizen sends in a report saying my name is missing or something like that, we tell that individual that, is your name the same as it is on your Twitter handle or whatever, like WhatsApp mein jo number dikh raha hai, is it the same? And can you show us an ID which says that? So if the photo and the name match, that's when because we want some accountability.
Right.
There's obviously a risk, like it's such a distributed project, somebody might send in information is not verified. We are trying to set things out that this is, and we're very open about it, that this has been verified.
Right.
This is not very verified. This is completely unverified.
Okay, that makes sense. So, okay, so which state are you looking at?
I will look at the second phase of the Uttar Pradesh and the first phase of Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
So, in Uttar Pradesh, there was not that much compared to the first phase of the Uttar Pradesh regarding the complaints and all. But there was one incident where the BJP candidate of Bulandshahr, Bhola Singh, has been house arrested because he was trying to plead the voters into voting booth to vote
Okay.
for him. So he was house arrest
Like he walked
yesterday.
into the voting booths to tell people
Yeah,
to
so
vote.
according to the reports, like some tweets and citizen journalism reports, that he was pleading voters to vote for him into the polling booth, but he was been house arrested for yesterday. And regarding the other complaints, there were complaints in bits and pieces, but not like the way it was happened in the first phase though. And regarding Andhra Pradesh first phase, it was very like 300 engineers from the BHEL has been sent to check the EVM malfunctioning, and even the chief election officer of Andhra Pradesh couldn't vote because of the EVM malfunctioning. Then it has been replaced, and then he went to vote again. So
Okay.
and even the Chandrababu Naidu of TDP said that 30%, around 30% EVM, where it might be political or not, we don't know about it, but there was lots of report regarding Andhra Pradesh and EVM malfunctioning.
Okay.
Even two of the polling agent has been arrested for the because they were trying to malfunction the EVM, and one of the
Tamper the
tampering, yeah, and one of the candidate of Jan Sena party went into the booth and broke the EVM machine, and he has been arrested for that. Yeah, that's from the.
So those are the reports. So basically, it is like a mix of, say, media reports and also like citizen reports.
Yes. So media reports, most we are looking at, the very regional local news handles because they are way.
Sorry, guys, tech difficulties. So,
Just like the EVMs.
just like the EVMs. Okay, so what have you been looking at?
Yeah, hi. So in phase one elections for Uttar Pradesh, there were a lot of complaints like other states for non-functional EVMs. Then in Shamli, there was a lot of violence that happened, and also there were reports of Dalits not being able to vote.
Shamli is the site for the Muzaffarnagar riots, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of violence that happened, and Dalits were not being able to vote despite of having their names in the voters list. Then there was
Were they being like basically stopped by someone? What exactly?
yeah, they were being stopped by for voting.
Okay.
Yeah.
By some specific party, or do we have any information?
Yeah, there was no specific information regarding that, but there were complaints regarding that it's not being able to vote actually. So
Okay.
yeah, citizen reports. And then there were complaints that said that BJP posters were there on the walls near the polling booths. It was mentioned that there was near the polling booth number 12. There were BJP posters on the walls of houses, which is in Muzaffarnagar, which is actually not allowed on the day of elections. And then there was a lot of fake news also being circulated on the internet, one of which was Namo food packets were being circulated in Noida. And when we fact checked that, then we got to know that there was nothing as such happening.
Right. There was another thing I was reading yesterday about receipt books of something having vote for Namo or something in the same area. I think that was.
There was a lot of fake news being
Lots
circulated
of
that
fake
day. Yeah,
news,
yeah, yeah.
And were we tracking any of them? We have been getting some being tagged in some things as well, I think. Our Twitter feed and all is getting tagged in fake news by. So as it happens, like everything, every discourse in India now in online devolves into one group of bhakts versus another group of bhakts.
Yeah.
And they don't want to listen to anybody. I mean, we are not even, so we don't have a partisan position here.
Right.
We are not talking about like go vote for this guy or vote against that guy or anything of the sort. But it's sort of become very, it's funny in a dark way that we say people, somebody says, oh, I can't vote, and then maybe somebody from the Aam Aadmi Party will come and say, see, the BJP is keeping out all the Aam Aadmi Party voters. And then the guy responds saying, no, I'm like 3 generations of BJP voter. My name is missing.
Right.
So, there's a devolution of the conversation and everything becomes like,
Everything basically takes a political color.
takes a political color. So if I'm a BJP person and somebody from a non-BJP party has been left out of the polls, I wouldn't care.
Right.
But anyway, I'll be very upset.
What have you been looking at?
So I have been looking at Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. So it has been like there has been not much violence. There has been issues of the road thing, the road accessibility thing that you were earlier talking about. It actually here there has been different. Like buses have not been running in the state, and
Somewhere
in
around Hosur,
yeah,
we got a report.
and, in Polachi, people actually protested that there are no buses and people can't go anywhere. And there have been a few other protests also. There were voters in Chennai who protested against the names being not on the voter list. And in this place called, there have been also a couple of boycotts. In Thiruvalur, villages boycott because it's something they have against, like they were complaining about pollution for a long time and nothing had been done there. So they went on to boycott the election. And there's this very specific case in near Coimbatore where 40 scheduled caste families boycott this election because to protest against private land encroachment. Against the government basically. And very few funny things actually also, because a lot of people turned out to vote. They had their voter ID card, their names were on the list, and they ended up that their serial number somehow matched the serial number on the list, but it was of some different person. Yeah. And then there were reports that we also received saying that, well, my father is well and alive, but his name is not there, and the reason cited for that is that he's dead, but he's with me outside the booth. And my grandfather is dead, although his name is up there. So
Wow, that's crazy. Okay.
yeah, so that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here's another really, unexpectedly beautiful thing about this project, that it's taken a life of its own. We thought we were going to get a very bird's eye view of things, but we actually are getting very specific reports. Like yesterday, a polling officer sent us a report saying, "Can you please help us that there is, we haven't even been served a cup of tea since morning. There's zero infra over here. How do we work? We're very hungry."
Where was this?
Can you just find it? There was it's on Twitter.
Okay.
I think it was from Tamil Nadu only. It was from Tamil Nadu.
Right.
The polling officer tweeted to us, sent us a DM message on Twitter saying, how do I work? It's half the day gone. None of my officers here have even gotten a cup of tea.
Okay.
It's also that, like we have this mega view, but we are also getting such
Basically.
very human stories that are coming out. So I think that has been a surprising
Right.
and in its own sense, like from a journalistic point of view, a
Right.
very beautiful turn of events.
Okay, so guys, please visit iVote.io, and if you have anything that is going wrong in your polling booths or your name is not on the electoral roll, you can message on the tip line number. Tip line number
Which
is
I don't know by heart. That's very unimpressive. But
we
I'm
will-
going to read it out. 9623540755. We are on WhatsApp on this number. So here's what you need to do. You see anything that's gone wrong, just about anything that stops or blocks a person from casting his or her vote is voter suppression. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. Take out your phone. We all have phones. Take a photo, take a video, record a selfie, turn on a selfie camera and send us a citizen report. We want to collect all of this. Oh, sorry, there's another thing that I want to mention. It's about the ECI being extremely insular.
right. What do you mean?
So almost all our reports are we are tagging the ECI, telling them, look, here's a problem, look, there's a problem.
Their handle is ECI Veep.
SV or something like
Okay.
and zero response. Like our team, before the project started, we actually looked at the website and we found security glitches in that. We put up a video saying, dear election commission, your website needs work. They did not bother. I mean, I think this has been by far the most, in the post-session era, I think this has been the worst ECA ever.
Okay.
In terms of just insularity to how good or bad the polling is going.
Okay, so please, if you see anything, you know what to do there. And please follow iVote _IO.
IO on
And
Twitter.
News Laundry is also tweeting out reports from iVote as well. So next phase of elections, please be vigilant.